Good morning and welcome back. I've told you guys I do a part 2. We're gonna pick up from where we left off with Watch Me by Tahereh. Hopefully this video is gonna be shorter than the last one. I'm halfway-ish with the book and I think I'll finish it this week, so we'll see. And if you didn't watch the last video, go watch it. This will not make sense otherwise. I'm gonna start this video off with a little prediction for the rest of the story and where it's gonna go. And we're gonna see how accurately I get it. I think I'm pretty good at sussing out what's gonna happen in books. This one I've said is a little bit more unpredictable to me, but I'm gonna try my best. So we had to switch locations because the kitchen is so hot. First of all, she's pretending she's seeking asylum because she wants to collect information. They're going to go along with it, pretend that they don't know that she's here for surveillance reasons. And by they, I mean Warner. She's here to seek asylum and we're going to give her asylum. Essentially, James and her are going to be friends. They're both going to be faking it from both sides. So it's giving like mutual betrayal. I think they're both going to develop feelings for each other. Obviously, she's gonna fall first, he's gonna fall harder. She doesn't have powers, so that's a bit of a throw off for me, because I was gonna say some other theories based off of her like discovering she has powers. Maybe she discovers she has powers at some point and then has a big crash out. I think her sister's still alive and I think she's gonna be forced to choose between her sister and James at some point, and she's gonna obviously choose her sister. But James, knowing that she has feelings for him at this point, I'm talking like later into the book, like towards the end, when James knows she has feelings for him, and even though she chooses her sister and Ark Island, those people, she's gonna choose their side because it's better to be near her sister than further away from her sister. She's gonna betray him, but he's not gonna take it personally because he'll know that she likes him. And even though everyone like Kenji, Juliet, Warner are gonna be like, you need to let her go, he's gonna be adamant on trying to get her out of that. I think this is not gonna be the only book. I think there's gonna be another book. I'm halfway through and I have no idea what else could actually happen in such a short space of time to wrap up everything. So I'm like, yeah, this cannot be the only book. Kenji and Juliet might want to support him, but I don't think Warner will support it at all. I think he'll want him to let her go. And I think they're gonna have a big fight because of it. I think Juliet will try to convince Warner. I think Kenji will be backing James heavy. Maybe James going into Ark Island to get his girl will inspire Kenji to go for Nazira and get her back. Maybe I'm just hoping. Maybe I'm just holding on to hope that Nazira and Kenji get together by the end of this whole like story. Our final thing will be Nazira and Kenji reuniting, and please, like, this to me is almost as important as Warner. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I have to go clock into work. I'm gonna go to the gym with my friend this evening. I might vlog that. We'll see how I feel. And then this evening we're gonna go back into reading. So yeah, see you guys in a bit. There's just something about the male main lead leaning against the door frame. There's just something about it. Excuse how I look because hair it's not even in a bonnet. I just met Leon. If you guys who have finished the book, you probably know Leon better than I do. But I just met Leon and I wouldn't even say he's flirting with Rosabelle. Maybe he is, but he's kind of just like saying things like, oh, Rosabelle, you're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. James is with Rosabelle and he's walking her to her room and he hears Leon being all like, Rosabelle, Rosabelle, blah, blah, blah. And he gets his hand and he palms him in the... He basically physically assaults this Leon guy. Be more obvious. Why don't you? Be more obvious about your fascination with this girl. Why don't you? Because was the slap necessary? I do think there's an element of jealousy in Sweet James's head because that slap was so unexpected. Like, I did expect him to be like irritated the second that guy opened his mouth. Like, I did expect James to be like irritated, maybe tell him off or something, but the violence, I'm just loving the slow burn. Just like my nighttime aesthetic. Yeah, you guys get the real me on YouTube, because the way I would never show up on TikTok like this. I'm referencing the first paragraph on chapter 28, so if you're reading along, that's what I'm talking about. I think this is my favorite part of the book so far. He goes in a whole spiel about how like gorgeous she is and how it's messing with his head. We love to see it. She's sitting in bed in white socks, knees pulled up to her chin, and she's both effortlessly stunning and deeply unaware of the havoc she's wreaking on my nervous system. She doesn't look capable of hurting a dust mote. This girl held a knife to your throat. She killed you. She slit your throat. James just said that he liked her better when she was actively trying to murder him. None of the Andersons are well. I love chapter 28 so much. It's really short as well. It's literally 2 pages. You know what it is, right? I feel like I would have finished this book way quicker if I didn't see online all of the TikToks about how like people are unsatisfied with the ending. They're like, oh no, I need more, and I hate that feeling. So I'm trying to prolong it as much as I can. I don't want it to end. Like, I felt so empty inside when I finished the series, the original series, and I don't want to feel like that again. I don't want to finish it and then feel like shit for months. The author announced that the next book has already been written, thank God. But like, is there a way for me to like put off finishing this book until it's out? Guys, Nazira's back. Nazira's back. This is not a drill. They saw Nazira. Well, Kenji saw Nazira. And then Winston's like, yeah, I know she's here. And then Kenji's crashing out because he's like, you didn't tell me? Look at this. I think I'm dying. Did she get more beautiful? How did she get more beautiful? Oh my God, is she with the hot Arab dude? Wait, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I can't compete with those dudes. Kenji. Oh, I feel so bad for him, and I'm also so excited to see her. Like, I hope. Oh my God. I don't know what to have for breakfast. I think I'm gonna have leftovers from yesterday. And then there's a new episode of Love Island USA to watch. Last night I did a lot of reading, but I filmed clips of me like live reacting to certain chapters, but it was dark. The lighting was really bad. I had to whisper a lot because everybody was asleep. I might input some clips to give you an idea of how I was crashing out, but most of those clips I cannot even put on the video because when I look back on them, I'm literally, you can barely see me, you can barely hear me. So I'm like, let me just recap it this morning. I want to let you guys know that I have read up to, I'm almost done the book, guys. Wow. I'm on chapter 33. As you can see, I was crashing out. Nazira came back. I don't think you guys understand. My jaw dropped when I read her name. Let me set the scene. There's a lot that happened. James and Rosabelle made a lot of progress in terms of their conversation. Oh my God, the tension between them. The tension between those two, you can cut it with a knife. If I was like sitting between them having their conversation, I would get sweaty. Rosabelle can tell that James is putting up a front with his humor and the way he pretends not to care about things. Like, she literally said it point blank. Like, you used humor to cover up the fact that you're smarter than you pretend to be. I know what you're doing. Like, she was reading him to filth. There was a chapter where they were having lunch in the cafeteria. This was after James assaulted her roommate. But they went to have lunch in the cafeteria and they're sitting there talking. I don't know what it is about her, but every time he observes something she does, like literally just a normal observation, she's like, are you reading my mind? It'll be something like, oh, her feet are barefoot. And she look at her feet. Obviously she's thinking like, where are my shoes? So he looks at her looking at her feet and goes, oh, your shoes are da-da-da. And then she's like, you read my mind. How did you know I was thinking about my shoes? And he's like, you're looking at your feet that have got no shoes on them. Obviously you're thinking about your shoes. What do you mean reading your mind? They have like very advanced technology, which I think James is gonna like learn about that soon to report back to Warner. It's just she lives in a different reality to him. He thinks he has her like somewhat figured out, and then she throws a curveball every time, and I think it excites him more than he's letting on. There's just a lot going on with her, and I think James is fascinated but also like nervous. He doesn't fail to remind us every couple chapters that he thinks she's beautiful, and I'm like, well. So they're having lunch and she's like talking to him and he's using humor to deflect, and she calls him out on it and he's very much like, oh, she got me. And she just reads him to filth in general, and obviously that gets him riled up in like a good way. I think you're not mysterious, your methods are obvious, you rely on veils of distraction, using humor and charm to cast yourself as a hapless, incapable opponent, only to then slaughter your enemies as if it costs you nothing. You pretend to be reckless when you're not, you pretend to be weak when you're not, you pretend to be stupid when you're not. You live by some impenetrable moral code, deciding at your own discretion whether something is worth dying for, and then act as if your sacrifice means nothing. You feign boredom even when you're paying attention. You smile even when you're angry, especially when you're angry. You're a liar. Deep down you don't think this world is funny. Deep down you're simmering with rage. You think I can't see right through you. You live your life as if nothing can hurt you, even though your body is covered with scars. He says, well, he doesn't say this, but he thinks this in response. These words detonate inside me. The result is a mess. My heart is beating out of my chest. My head is surging with heat. I want to go back to the person I was 5 minutes ago. It's like my ribcage has been split open, like a magician just pulled the organs out of my body and now is just tossing them into a jeering crowd. Jesus, I can't stop looking at her. I want to know what else she thinks of me. I want to know what she's thinking right now. I want to know what other things she's hiding behind those strange eyes. I don't even realize I'm staring at her like a prepubescent teenager until I drop my fork and the metal clatters, startling me. I swallow, sitting back in my seat. This is bad. You tell me he's not down bad. Down astronomically bad. Different level of down bad. Also, there was a very funny scene where I think Kenji, Winston, and James were walking to a bakery, and I think Winston was going through something and Kenji was trying to make him feel better about himself. So in order to make Winston feel better about himself and his lack of a love life, he uses James as an example. He's like, look at him. Young boy, very handsome, gets approached by the ladies. And James is like, I only get approached by the ladies because they think I'm Warner. And I had to cackle. I had to close the book and laugh. I said, James, you're not even the main character in your own book. Where's your brother at? I love James, I love Kenji, but they ain't shit compared to Warner. I've realized in a lot of scenes in this book, whenever Warner enters the room, he just takes over. He just takes over all the attention. Like, I forget who the main character is. I'm like, wait, this is about James. Warner is 5'8". That's his only flaw. I remember the way the internet, like, well, Book Talk was in outrage over this. They were like, wait, he's not 6'2". He's not. And yet he's still one of the top contenders for book boyfriends on Book Talk. So I don't know which chapter it was, but James made a crack at Warner's height, and the way Warner reacted, y'all.
You think I'm more handsome than you? Smarter than you? Taller than you? Warner sits up in his chair, his eyes flashing. You're right, I say, darting up the stairs. I crossed the line, won't have it again.
I think I'll be done by tomorrow evening. Depends on how tired I am tonight. If I'm too tired and I just crash out. Even so, I feel like I can finish 7 chapters in one sitting. And then we're gonna have the full review and the full rating. Should I rate it out of 5, like Goodreads vibes? Or should I rate it out of 10? Because I feel like with 10, 1 to 10, there's more I'm gonna rate it 1 to 10, I don't care. Even on Goodreads, like, I'm always so annoyed because I always want to put 0.5, 0.5. Like, I'm gonna give myself 1 to 10. 1 to 10, we're gonna rate this book once it's done. Oh, also, I am 100% rereading the Shadow Me series after this. As much as I want this to be very detailed and concise, and I wanted to basically represent every single one of my emotions and feelings while reading this book, I read it and finished it this time last night, and I didn't have a chance last night to talk to you guys and like get all my emotions out, and so my emotions are not as raw right now. So I think it might be a struggle to get everything out, but I'm gonna try my best. And the main thing on my mind right now is the way it ended. Like, I saw posts online, but nothing could have prepared me for how annoying the ending was. The ending of the book is like good from a writer perspective, like, oh yeah, okay, anticipation for the next book, you know, like I get it. But as a reader, it makes me want to rip the book apart. Once I started the last like little bit, I couldn't stop reading. Okay, like everything was moving so fast. I started off with a cliffhanger from the chapter before, because we figured out that Leon is actually from the Ark and he was possessed by Klaus. He's some sort of like AI robot. That's the way I understand it. Leon is possessed by Klaus, and he's saying all these weird things to her. I don't know, he's just saying all these weird things to her and repeating the same phrases over and over again, to the point where I'm like, okay, this guy's clearly possessed. But he's trying to send a message to her. She's meant to drink from this vial and bury herself alive, and then as she decomposes, she will destroy this world. The Republic, yeah. And that apparently there's like several others like her who have been given this vial and given the same instructions. So even if she doesn't do it, there are countless other people who are going to do it across this land. The New Republic is going to be destroyed regardless, and if she doesn't comply, then her sister will be kept alive and tortured. But if she does do it, her sister will die a quick, painless death, which is convenient, isn't it? Because if she does do it, how is she gonna know that they are gonna give her sister a quick, painless death? It's just so messed up. I felt bad for her here, because she literally was like, the only option is to die. They give her that ultimatum, and then I think Leon's body just kind of self-destructs. The therapist, the doctors, they all burst in and they see Leon's body in pieces, and they already know Roosevelt has a violent history, so they obviously assume that she murdered him. And then they see the vial, and then James gets there, and she describes this look of like disappointment on his face that makes her feel hollow inside, and I'm just like, then something happens and she dies. I think I was speed reading here at this point because I wanted to just get to the act. But yes, she dies. So then they're wheeling her body, and it's Kenji, James, and Warner, and they're wheeling her body to the morgue. They think she's dead, but she's not, obviously. She opens her eyes, and then, oh my god, this bit was so cool, because sometimes I literally forget Warner's powers sometimes. Like, for a split moment, I forget what his powers are, and then I'm reminded in moments like these when she's lying on the stretcher and she opens her eyes and they're like, what the hell, she's alive? Should we just put a bullet through her head and kill her completely? And I'm just thinking, James is not even advocating for her to be kept alive. He meant what he said when he said, if you hurt the people in my life, the people I care about, then you're dead to me. So Warner's looking at her in the eyes, and then obviously he's reading her emotions, and he's like, guys, she's gonna try and escape. Like, he just says it. Warner takes one look at her, tells the other guys to shut up. He's like, yeah, lock this place down, she's gonna try and escape. And before he's even finished the sentence, she's already jumping up and trying to do all combat. There's like a bit where Kenji tells James to get Warner out of the room because obviously Juliet's pregnant, and he's like, that kid's not gonna grow up without a father. I don't care. Get Warner out of here. It's the funniest fight scene ever. If you see the memes on TikTok, you know it is the funniest fight scene ever. She's like ducking his bullets, and he's like, first of all, how am I meant to go to the Waffle House now that you hurt my leg, huh? And he's shooting at her. I think people forget, just because Kenji is the comedic relief in this book doesn't mean he's not vicious. Kenji does not play about Warner at all. He doesn't play about him. That's his brother. Say what you want about Kenji and Warner's relationship. They're brothers. Yeah. So Kenji and Rosabella having their little shootout, and oh my god, when he shocked her by turning invisible, I was just like, she has like a gun to Kenji's face. She's hesitating, and I'm like, you're not killing Kenji. She's like, I don't want to kill you. But then right behind her, she hears like a gun click, and it's James with a gun to the back of her head. And I'm like, I know it sounds sick in the head, okay? But the knife to the throat, the gun to the head in books from Blood and Ash has ruined me. That was where it started. Castile and I forgot her name. Poppy. Her name's Poppy. Poppy's thing with holding a knife to his throat all the time and him literally loving it. Like, I think that now I'm obsessed with those type of scenes because I love that book. I think I read it in 2020. So now the whole concept of like the knife to the throat or the gun to the head, James was not playing. He was pissed, okay? He was like so understanding of her for like the majority of the book. Like, he gave her the benefit of the doubt in moments where he did not have to give the benefit of the doubt. And you could say it's because he's attracted to her, but I feel like he really like was trying to see her. And then at this point, it just felt like he was starting to see her the way everyone else saw her. And I was kind of like gutted. There's only so much you can do when you're on opposite sides of this world. So yeah, James has the gun to her head. Kenji's telling him, should I get you back up? He's like, I don't need backup. And I'm like, you might need backup because James is the type to fold. Sorry. You're just like your brother. It's fine. You know what's so interesting? I was starting to draw parallels between Juliet and Rosabelle. I think I've mentioned this before. Juliet and Rosabelle remind me of each other. To be honest, her sister, Emmeline, falls into this a little bit more, but her sister was used as a weapon against her will. She was just a weapon. She wasn't a person. And it feels like Rosabelle is being set up to be exactly that by Ark Island. Drink this file, bury yourself under, and your death will have a part in destroying this world. The second I heard that, I was just thinking of Juliet and her sister and how they were not meant to be people. They were just meant to be weapons. Yeah, so James is walking through the tunnel with her, gun to the back of her head, hand on her waist, which I think is unnecessary. Why was his hand on her waist? Do you think when he captures other criminals, because she's going to a supermax prison, right? Do you think when he takes prisoners to supermax prisons, English, you think when he's taking prisoners to the supermax prison, he holds their waist like that? No, he doesn't. He was taking an opportunity. They're walking and she's trying to like explain to him that he needs to let her go so she can go back to Ark Island and try and get her sister back, which, guys, I literally predicted that. That's the only thing I got right in my prediction, I think. I need to review what my predictions are because I completely forgot. I'm not even going to disclose how long it's taking me to finish this book because it's embarrassing, but it's been a while, so I don't remember my initial predictions. I have to watch the footage back. Who knows where that's gonna go? And there's so much longing between them and it's perfect. Like, I literally read it and I was like, just make out, take the chance right now. Like, she's going to prison, like, you might as well just kiss. Like, you're never gonna see her again, right? James is obviously like, don't be so rough with her, and I'm like, bro, you're snitching on yourself, like, chill. Warner comes and I'm like, Aaron. He's like explaining to James that he's never gonna see Rosabelle again, and then he says something that I think is meant to be like a plot twist, but like, I have the memory of a goldfish. He says something about a man named Hugo, and I'm guessing Hugo is her father because she did say that her mom's dead, her dad is dead to her because he switched sides, which means he's on the side of the New Republic, which means he's probably on this island right now, but he's dead to her because he abandoned her and her family, which is like fair enough. Her dad's alive, his name is Hugo. So, whatever. Okay, take with that what you will. I don't remember what that means. I was just more frustrated that their little moment got interrupted. It was just such a weird ending, honestly. I kept flicking through all these empty pages at the back, just thinking maybe I'd get something. Long nights await me. I need a place to rest my head, a place to sort my thoughts, a place to make my plans. prison will do just fine. So she's gonna be plotting, and when she gets her chance, I think James is gonna have a hand in her getting out of that prison cell, and then he's gonna help her go back to Ark Island. Like the beginning of this book being James willingly breaking into Ark Island. I think the book 2 is gonna start off that way, him breaking into Ark Island but with her. But I feel like obviously we're gonna have to have a bit of a build up, so maybe halfway through the next book. But there has to be something in it for him. I think the prospect of destroying Klaus, which is what Rosabelle wants to do, she wants to go back to Ark Island and destroy Klaus. That's gonna benefit James and obviously his family and his people in the New Republic. So I think that will be a way of him being like, I'm gonna do my part in helping the New Republic and impressing my family, saving her sister, getting rid of Klaus, and then like, just saving all these people. I don't think I said anything groundbreaking. I think everyone probably has the same opinion on where this is gonna go. It's just how it's gonna happen. I almost forgot. We're gonna probably get more Kenji and Nazira scenes in the next book. I'm so excited. So that kind of wraps up the last few chapters. You know what I'm gonna do? Tomorrow, I'm gonna write up a whole Goodreads review, and then that's gonna wrap up this video. And then I'm gonna give you guys the final rating after, because I feel like I cannot give the rating until I finished writing up the full review. I say a full review like I'm gonna write an essay. It's probably not gonna be that long. I'm gonna summarize all of it and then give you guys the final rating. And I'm going to do 0.5s. I don't care. Even though Goodreads doesn't let us do that, 0.5s, 0.75s, 0.6s, because I can. I am like delirious with exhaustion. I'm relieved that I finished it. It's bittersweet because I didn't want to finish this book. This is what I was trying to avoid. I don't want to get into another reading slump, guys. Everyone's asleep, so I'm trying not to be too loud. But it's 11 o'clock right now. I should be going to sleep. Now I have time to watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. You're probably thinking, which team am I on? It's a complicated question. I did not read those books, so I'm going based off of just the show. And when I watched the show for the first time and I met Conrad as a character, my first thought was, I am so sick and tired of the moody bad boy. I'm sick of that. So the second I saw him being all like, ugh, belly, go look yourself in the mirror some more, I said, no. When I tell you there's so many think pieces and so many essays people make on both brothers and which one is better than the other, realistically, neither. Realistically, I'm like, I don't want her with either one because they both have their flaws. Season 1, I was a team Jeremiah girl, yes. Like it was more like anti-Conrad, and who's the other one? Jeremiah. All right. Even Cameron, I was like, Belly doesn't like him. Let's stop. Either Belly's single or she's with Jeremiah. Otherwise, put the shit off. Then season 2, I think I was still the same. Every time Conrad's about to win me over, he loses me. And then the end of season 2, especially, I was like, yeah, no. The whole I want you, Belly, and then the next day, I don't want you, Belly, and then Belly, I actually want you. You know, when they're like in the motel, he's like whispering to her, I actually want you. And then the next morning, actually, Belly, I didn't want you. And then she's like, I release you, I evict you from my heart. I said, move, go kiss Jeremiah again. Realistically, she shouldn't be with either one based off of what's going on with their mom. Like they should be focusing on their family and like mending their brother relationship. No girl should be between them. But if we had to choose, I would have said Jeremiah because he was less confusing. I like when a guy is very straightforward. He was like, I like Belly, done. People say, oh, he only wanted Betty because Conrad wanted Betty. I don't care. I don't really care. I really don't care. It was really much a case of like, these are the two options. Which one is less annoying? And I was like, Jeremiah annoys me less. He's cringy, but he annoys me less. But now that I'm seeing trailers for season 3, I think this might convert me to Team Conrad. I'm just going based off of how they treat Belly. That's it. That's all I'm going based off of. Not all the underlying stuff because Belly's crying with Conrad all the time. I'm tired. Based off the trailer, it seems like there's been a lot of healing on Conrad's side and there's been a lot of maturing, and I think with Jeremiah it looks like the opposite has happened for him. I hear cheating rumors, which is so random. Like I don't think that's in his character. I really don't think that makes sense, but fine, that's what's happening. So I'm like, okay. If what I think is going to happen in season 3 happens, then fine, Team Conrad. But I just hope everybody has healed. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now. And to be honest, the whole Summer I Turned Pretty, I literally will babble about it on Instagram anyways. But for now, I'm gonna go to sleep.